break with Jimmy, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the governor race here in the state of California. You know, we have to do something. We have to change the state around here. We've got to get somebody better than Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom was about a waste. I mean, he's the one that started the bullet train, and apparently they got another bullet train going from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. And apparently, I'll talk a little bit more about this some other time. But apparently, it's all done with private money. It's not done by the state. And I guess they're quite a ways into it now. It's whether it's almost done or not. I don't know that much about it. I just heard about it last night. I got to do a little more research on that one. But the bullet train to nowhere here from Shafter to Merced or Bakersfield to Merced. And that's as far as it's gotten without a foot of track being laid yet. Well, this is Gavin Newsom's baby, along with other stuff that he's doing here in the state of California. It's not going anywhere. But we've been run by Democrats for so long. And you also know that, in a primary, when you're running for governor or any other state office, whether it's Assembly or the Senate, it's whoever the two top vote getters are in that area. That's who they're going to compete with. They're going to compete with one another, whether it's two Republicans or two Democrats or a Democrat or Republican. Either or, they're going to run against one another. And most of the time, for the governor for the state of California is usually two Democrats run against one another. We very seldom have a Republican that actually gets in the top two of the primaries, and that doesn't seem to be fair to me, but that's the way they've done it for some time, and it's because it's been Democrat run for some time. But we don't need another Gavin Newsom, and we absolutely don't need Gavin Newsom running for president, and he will. He's got his eyes on the presidency of the United States, and all he's going to do he's not going to use the template of Donald Trump and the MAGA party. And I call it the common sense party, but he's not going to go there. He's going to use his own way of thinking, which is the Nancy Pelosi San Francisco way, which is. And there's another thing. There's a guy. I heard about this yesterday too. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'll think of it here in a minute. But he's like the wealthiest wealthiest businessman in San Francisco. And apparently this guy here, he owns quite a bit. He has, I can't think of the name of the business he has, but he's a Democrat, but he likes what Donald Trump is doing. And because he likes what Donald Trump is doing, he likes what he's doing about taking care of the homeless and what he's doing for the government, and he would like that being done here in the state of California, and he likes it. But because he came out and said this, I'll talk about him later. But apparently, the news, the media, they shut him down because he's a Democrat and likes President Trump. So, but anyway. That's another story. But the thing about the governor, we've got to make a change. We've been, I've talked about it, where we've had 15 years or better Democrat run here in the state of California, probably longer, probably more like 30 years or better. And the same thing with the United States. It's with the president. We've had a lot of Democrat policies that have been put in place. Democrats have been running things for a long time, and that's really pretty much been the downfall of the United States. That's why we're $37 trillion in the hole. And I don't know how far we're in the hole with California, but it seems like it's in the trillions, I believe, or at least maybe $500 billion. We're got a deficit in the state of California or more. But we've been Democrat run for some time. And so we have to make a change, folks. And we've got we've got some people running now. I've got one guy in mind that I'd like. I actually got two guys, but I think the other one needs to back off a little bit, and I'll explain that. And so that way, at least this other guy can probably win the primary and be part of it to run for the governor. And he's got some good ideas, because I listened to a podcast on him the other day. Well, actually, it wasn't a podcast. It was, I want to say it was Laura Ingraham. Yeah, it was Laura Ingraham on Fox News. She had him on and was talking to him about this. But this guy's name is, his name is Chad Bianco. And he's a former sheriff for not San Bernardino, Riverside County. He's leading the polls with 13%. Now, this is early on, of course, but then he's got this Katie Porter's right behind him, where she was leading the polls at 17% until she blew up at that reporter. she was doing an interview and said she wasn't going to answer any more questions on this one topic. And well, they ask questions from different angles for different policies and different things, and you have to be able to answer the questions. But this Katie Porter, she blew up this, and I think it was an ABC News an anchor there. But they got her. She's at 11 right now. Xavier Becerra is at 8. Steve Hilton's at 8. Antonio Villagarasso, he's at 5. And they got 44 undecided. 44 votes undecided so this is early on. But they also got Eric Swalwell. He's thrown his hat in there, and I mean, come on, this guy he's a typical liar of the Democrat Party, and then they got this other guy, Rick Caruso. He's gonna either run for governor or mayor of Los Angeles, and that's, of course, if Karen Bass is gonna rerun for governor of Los Angeles or not, we don't know. And then there's this Tom Steyer. He's a billionaire from the state of California. He's talking about throwing his hat in the ring, and of course, he's got a lot of money and a lot of backing from that standpoint to get him in the office. So those are pretty much the front runners. There's I think there's a list of about anywhere between 12 and 20 people that are actually running for governor of the state of California, and I do like Steve Hilton. All these other ones that I just mentioned, they're all Democrats with the exception of Steve Hilton. And Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco, they're pretty much, if not the only Republicans that are in the race, and they're up in the top echelon as far as the polls go. But I like Steve Hilton. He's an American now. Of course, he's British. He's from Britain. And he has that British accent, and a lot of things that he says sounds good. But I was listening to this Chad Bianco the other day, and he was saying that it's just about whether you're running for governor, senator, congressman, president, whoever, whatever you're doing, they all say, I'm going to run for everybody. I want to represent everybody. The Democrat Party, the Republican Party, the Independents, I'm going to represent everybody. And this is pretty much the same idea with this Chad Bianco, but he says it differently. And maybe he says it differently because he means it differently. He says, I don't want to look at I'm going to run as a Republican candidate, of course, but I'm not looking to be a Republican. I'm looking to be a Californian, running for California governor. And saying it that way, maybe it's a different twist on saying it. But it just sounds different, and the way that his ideas, being part of public service, because he was a sheriff for I think 32 years, I believe, in Riverside County, and that's close to Los Angeles. So I mean, it's not like this is a heavy, liberal area. Maybe Riverside is a little more. I think Riverside and San Bernardino is a little more conservative there, But his ideas that he has for getting the state back on track I mean, everyone says the same thing. We're the fifth largest economy or fourth largest economy. They have different numbers in the world. And the only thing that keeps California afloat is the fact is we are the fourth or fifth largest economy in the world. We have everything here. And there's a lot of people that just, well, they say there's a lot of people, conservatives, that are moving out of California, moving to Texas, and some are moving to Tennessee. I've had a couple of friends of mine that I went to school with are moving to Tennessee because they like it better over there, and they think they have a better life in Tennessee, and that's more power to them. But California is still California. It's still the best state in the union. We've got everything out here. We just need to manage it better. And that's the way this Chad Bianco is talking. He's talking about we have to manage it better. And because he's been in public service for a long time, being a sheriff for 32 years, he's kind of used to the ins and outs of politics here in the state of California. And he really believes he can do a better job. And I kind of like him. I want to see him more. I want to see more of his policies and what he has in mind for the state of California. But I think we ought to take a hard look at this guy. And this Katie Porter, I tell you, this lady here, she reminds me of somebody. I'm not going to say who, but she reminds me of somebody that I know pretty well. And this person is pretty wild, and this Katie Porter reminds me of her. But I just don't like her personality at all. And I guess maybe this Chad Bianco, I do like his personality. I like the way he talks, the way he carries himself. So I'm just saying, California, take a good, hard look at him. And we've got some time. We've got some time. It's going to be this time next year when they're going to be voting for the governor. So we have some time to look into him and look into all the candidates for the state of California. But I especially this Eric Swalwell, come on. We all know what he's all about, as being part of the House of Representatives for a long time, and this guy's a consistent liar. I mean, that's what he does. That's part of his mantra. That's his way of doing things. He gives a lot of credit to this Smith-Mundt Act, where you can spread propaganda, and if you want to believe it, you can believe it. But that's what this guy does. And there's a lot of other ones here that I feel the same way. What am I doing with my glasses? Here they are. This Javier Becerra, I'm not too crazy about him. I've watched him a little bit over the years, and I'm not too crazy about him. And the Antonio Villagrasso, I don't know much about him. And Rick Caruso, I've heard the name. I don't know much about him either. But we all know Eric Swalwell. And this Tom Steyer, well, he's a billionaire. He's going to have a lot of money to put into this. So we'll have to wait and see how this stuff goes. But I think you ought to take a heavy look at this Chad Bianco. I've watched him a couple of times already. I've seen him on a couple of programs, and I'm gonna try to find him on YouTube to see if he's got some more stuff to talk about. Maybe he'll be on True Social. I'll have my wife take a look at True Social. She's on that quite a bit, and maybe figure out a little bit more about this Chad Bianco. And but I tell you, California, now's the time. If we got to get this straight. We've got to get our taxes lowered. We got to get groceries. Come on, food. It's cost us so much more. Our living has cost so much more for. You want to talk about gas? You want to talk about groceries? You want to talk about insurance? We're the highest in the United States. I think we go neck and neck with New York and New Jersey, and Illinois also. But this stuff here is. We've got to get our costs down, and we can. And we can if we get the right people, the right governor, number one. I know we're like about, I would say 60-40 in the Senate and in the Assembly in the state of California, but I know I'm wrong. I know it's probably more 70-30, or even 80-20. But so we still have a heavy Democrat contingency here in the state of California. But I think a lot of Democrats are getting tired of this. Some of them that have gone to the far left, and this goes on the U.S. government too, the same thing. This far left, this socialist Marxism, communism sort of thing, and that's what's just going on in New York. Okay, come on. Johann Mondami, I mean, this guy, he's really sucking up to President Trump already now because he knows he's not going to be able to do all the things that he said he was going to do as mayor of New York, because that stuff's got to come down from the mayor. And the mayor of New York right now is going to have a tough time running against Elise Stefanik. I mean, her polls are right up there. I think it's her and the mayor right now. The governor right now. They're like about 45 to 43 or something like that. That's in their polls, and Elise Stefanik looks like she might be able to win the governorship there in the state of New York. And the mayor of New York isn't going to be able to do much without the governor's say. And whether it's her or not, I mean, even the governor of New York right now doesn't look like she's going to give free bus tickets to everybody, and she's going to let you ride the train also, so for free, But we'll have to wait and see on that. But with this socialism going on right now in Minneapolis, Minnesota, going on with in Seattle, Washington, all this stuff here is spreading around. It's spreading around, especially the Muslim population. I talked about that yesterday in my podcast yesterday when I talked about how the truckers and how even the Minute Marts they came in and now they own just about all the Minute Marts around. You can't go in there without seeing some. And I'm not saying they're not good people, because a lot of them are really great people. Some of them are kind of a little bit hard to talk to, but you never know what they're thinking. Okay, it's because of their way they believe in Allah and Sharia law and all that. We don't know how they're thinking. But we can't let California keep going to the left and going far left, where Gavin Newsom's about as close as you're going to get. Really, look at this Chad Bianco. Take a look at him, California, and see what he's got to offer. And I think that might be our best chance to really start. Maybe not get out of the hole, but it's a start. It's a start to go in the right direction for California, because I really don't want to move, and I know most people in California don't want to move. We like California, and there are some of them that are just maybe they're capable of moving, so they're doing it. They're just getting the hell out, cutting bait and running. But I think most people don't feel that way, because California is still the best state in the union as far as I'm concerned. So take a look at all these guys and see what they got to offer. And we've got a whole year to work on this, and I'm going to be talking about it as often as I can. More information I get, and I got some more things to talk about. I already mentioned a little bit about this guy, this businessman in San Francisco that really likes Donald Trump and what he's doing, and the media already cut the cable on him, won't even let him talk anymore. But when I find out, because I had his name yesterday, but I don't have it today. And his business, but I'll talk about it next time around on Coffee Break with Jimmy. So please subscribe, press the like button, share, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.